everybody. Welcome to the Grow Nights. My name is Cliff. I'm the Virginia community grower and planter, and we have Dion. He's our Baltimore community grower joining us here. We are going to do a quick welcome and recap from last week. So if you weren't here, definitely check it out. We actually went through some of our favorite tools to grow with, showcase a lot of different systems, grow mesh, garden, aero garden, different sorts of box systems, as well as giving you a good idea about how to get your soil, seeds, plugs, things of that nature. So this week is all about setup and overview. We're going to talk about how to restart your systems if you've been using them, and also set them up if you are not all the way set up just yet. So just to keep in mind here, this is part of the indoor garden market, which allows you to grow food indoors year-round using LED grow lights. Our free training program teaches you how to grow more than 75 pounds of food in less space than a coffee table with LED grow lights. That includes soil, hydroponics, a lot of different things. Just scan the QR code. Oh, it's over here, right there. The free QR code there, that's going to get you into the training program, which will provide you with email reminders, PDF guides, as well as access to a lot of great resources to grow with. So also keep in mind that we do live virtual growing and in-person events at Indoor Garden Market, as well as in the places where we operate. So Baltimore, Cincinnati, Vancouver, Washington, and the greater Northern Virginia area around Washington, D.C. It's tons of fun. And we hope to see you at one of our next events, or perhaps you can pop in and ask a few questions in the next live. So to kick things off, we're going to do a quick recap here for our Green Thumb Guide, or GTG. It is built on top of OpenAI's system for creating your own chatbot, essentially. It's been trained for indoor growing. So it's going to allow you to go through the setup process in really easy fashion. You can get access to it by scanning the QR code at the top right of the screen here. But super easy. Type in "Let's Grow," and it's going to ask you a couple different questions. What would you like to grow? Fast growing lettuces, microgreens, herbs, slow growing peppers, tomatoes, dwarf citrus, maybe a mix of both. Describe your space. Do you have a countertop, a shelf, a room, a closet, part of your living room? And preferred method, soil, hydroponics, or both. What's your harvest goal, your weekly harvest goal? So, enough herbs for cooking, greens for 3 salads a week, a pound of produce weekly for the whole family. Number 4, how much time per week can you dedicate to your garden? Example, 10 minutes daily, an hour on weekends. And lastly, it's going to ask you if you have any LED grow lights or need a recommendation. We can provide those for you. It's all built into our process here. So once you have that, once you answer those questions, it's going to generate a custom garden name, give you a week 1 planting plan, a shopping list, and also setup. So we did a quick overview one just for growing some greens in an aero grower or aero garden system with LED grow lights built in that you'll see I have down here in a moment. A few harvests per week for side salads or cooking, so about a quarter pound a week. Really have an hour to maintain and harvest from these, and ask for recommendations. So we're going to go through that in just a second, so hang in there with us as we're going through the process. Next on our agenda is actually to select and clean your space. So many systems that are out there don't really require a lot of space. For example, one of these box systems like this is a small aero garden. This is only going to take up a little bit of counter space. Fits in a kitchen. It could fit on a counter in your living room. No problem at all. Really small. It's going to be good for culinary herbs. Doesn't grow a lot, though. Overall, really a fairly small producer. Some of the box systems can get more, though. Keep that in mind. That's about the approximate size space that you would need in order to do this. Dion, if you could give us a quick look at your grow mesh and then your garden system, so we can get a sense of the space those take up.
Sure. So over here is the grow mesh. Um, as you can see, it supports up to 16 seedlings at a time. Right now, I have a lot of different things growing, from thyme to sage to mustard mizuna and basil, sweet basil. It's fairly easy to start. You just pop in a seedling in one of these pouches, and you feed the reservoir with the nutrients, and it's pretty much good to go from there. You'll get fresh herbs and food growing within 2 to 3 weeks. Over here, I have a couple of seedlings that I'm starting up now to pop into the system. This is lemon balm, as well as a bok choy and cucumber and a couple of other things. Over here, we have the garden, which is from last week. It's definitely produced a lot more. Everything's growing out. We have stock flower, lavender, bok choy, oregano, Swiss chard, hibiscus, arugula, all types of things. I like this system because you can. It's I think it might be a little bit better for fruiting plants. The reservoir holds a lot more, and garden provides seedlings to a subscription as well. Yeah, and everything gets placed into these what are called Y pods. So they're kind of like mini trays, and you pop a pod with seedling. They come ready to go out the box. Just drop them out, and you pop them in here. You take the cap off, and they're pretty much ready to go. The AI system provided through the app pretty much tells you when to trim, or basically how to take care of the plants in all stages. Yeah, that's pretty much it over here.
All right, awesome. So that's garden with a Y, Gardyn. Both the grow mesh and the garden can really get you pretty huge production levels. So we're talking 3 to 5 salads per week on average if you're just growing greens and herbs, something like that. So it's a lot. Dion, can you explain a little bit about the maintenance for those? Like grow mesh is fairly simple. Garden is a little more complex, though.
Yeah, garden requires more of you breaking it down. So each tower, you have to take them apart, take apart the reservoir at the base, and pretty much make sure you go through a deep cleaning. They recommend doing it once a year. Uh, Also, it depends on, I guess, the type of water that you have where you are. Um, you have to really make sure that the pH is balanced, so you won't get a lot of root rot or any issues with your plants over an extended period of time.
Gotcha. And grow mesh is a little bit different in that it doesn't really require cleaning the system out. You can take it down, remove the plants inside of it, let it dry out. In the wintertime, you can take it outside, for example, freeze it up a little bit, and then that will kind of reset the bacteria inside of it. So it's really low maintenance for the grow mesh system as opposed to the garden, which can sometimes it takes a few hours to clean, right? When you need to do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. There's a couple of methods to doing it. Some people like take the whole thing and take it apart and put it in a tub and just let it soak for a while. I don't have that method really available for me, so I kind of use a couple of buckets and try to soak everything overnight. But then you have to really get in there and scrub everything out to make sure all the gunk and everything is removed from the different plants and the roots.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's yeah, it's quite a bit of work. Those larger tower systems are gonna take some work to get going and to refresh. So usually a couple times per year. These kinds of systems, like this is the Aero Garden. This one you're going to take apart and clean approximately 4 times per year, depending on how much you're actually growing with it. You've got little baskets where you're going to put your seedlings into or grow your seeds out of. These drop into your system. These you're going to have to clean as well periodically in order to keep them fresh. Generally speaking, so great. great little updates there. And if you're just joining us, this is part of the free indoor food growing training program. You can scan that QR code. Join us anytime. We grow 4 times per year virtually, and about 75 pounds across that time in herbs and greens. So it's super productive, really fun and interesting. And we hope you can join us when you've got some time here. So let's move on to setting up your system. So there's a couple of different options. As long as you have some grow lights, you can actually start to grow indoors year round and produce lots of food. So we're going to use one example here. This is actually a newer system. This is one of the Mufkas. This one will hold 8 plants at a time using the basket system that we had showed over here. So you put your seeds in seedlings, drop them down inside of this, and then it's got a light that will be on 14 to 16 hours per day, generally speaking. This one has a reservoir indicator at the front of this, so you can top it off as needed, and you'll know approximately where it is. Pretty low tech, except for the LED grow lights. These are really easy for growing herbs and greens. In particular, culinary herbs, for example, are pretty great. But you're not limited to hydroponics. We've talked about a lot of those so far. If you just wanted to add on a light, you can just do a light and then a simple cloth bag like this. Fill it with soil, put a little container underneath it to catch water. Make sure you're not getting water on your floor, your carpet, inside your home. But these bags are light. They've got handles on both sides, so they're really easy to move around. And you can grow lots of food in soil, about 10 pounds per 4 square feet on average, depending on what kinds of plants, how fast they're growing. But with LED grow lights, it's still really productive to be able to do that. So one thing to keep in mind as you are setting up your systems, you want to make sure that you've got the lights at the right size and space. So for example, in our arrow garden, lights up here, when you've got small seedlings, it's not going to produce good results. So you want to have your lights really close down. So the light's very intense on the seedlings, and that's going to get you the best results overall. Dion, could you show your the seedlings and then maybe a quick look at the grow mesh to show the distance with the lights there?
Yeah, sure. So here you've got them say maybe like a couple of inches away from the light here. Make sure that they get enough lighting. It's about the same amount of distance here from the lights and the garden. So if you got the lights are right on this side, it's actually okay. I would say the garden may be a little bit further away. Pretty much, almost maybe like a foot, which is a little bit less than on this side. But yeah.
Gotcha. So good indicator. Keep the lights really close to the seedlings. You can start to pull them back out depending on the efficiency of the lights. We have used happy leaf lights in the past, which are really intense. They have very, very strong amounts of light and can grow really well, even though lights might be a little bit further away. But most of your standard lights, even say a shop light that you are repurposing for growing greens, those are going to require you to be pretty close, definitely pretty close. So let's jump back over to our Green Thumb guide and check out the actual setup and prep. So if you did start to use this kind of gives you a sense of it. It's going to give you a setup and prep checklist. So cleaning and sanitizing, say an aero garden or grow unit, checking your light, filling the water reservoir, and calibrating it. It can generate an idea for producing a certain amount per week. So a quarter-pound harvest. If you planted Genovese basil, dwarf dill, red leaf lettuce, arugula, parsley, and romaine minis, you'd have a good amount of basically tasting harvest essentially. It does generate some links so you can go shopping and gives you an idea about your commitment plan. So that's really just the beginning of this, and you can actually access it at that QR code on the upper right there. super easy to get started. This has been trained on indoor growing information, so it should be very easy to use. It is a free resource, so please take advantage of it. So we are just at the end of our Planter Grow night here. So thanks so much for joining us. We'd really love to hear from you. What's your garden style going to be this cycle? Keep in mind that you can grow 4 different cycles of food indoors year round using LED grow lights. It can be soil, it can be hydroponics, it can be both. There are different kinds of hydroponics, but we'd love to know, what are you growing? If you could put it in the chat so that we could get an understanding of how people are growing out there, that would be amazing. And we really love for you to join us in our indoor garden market free indoor food growing training program. That's the QR code you see right there. Free reminders, email reminders that are going to walk you through this process 4 times per year from start to finish. So we show you how to get set up, how to tear down your system, how to grow, even how to cook and harvest from it throughout. So it's really easy to get going. And join us for the next Planter Grow Night 1 week from now. It's going to be June 28th. So we're going to go through the basics of starting seeds indoors. It's going to be live. We'll show you what you do with the seedlings as they start to grow, how long you keep them outside of your system versus transplanting into your hydroponics or your soil system, and figuring those things out. So it was really great to have you join us. Just one last reminder, please join the free indoor food growing training program. That's that QR code right there. And definitely come and join us for our next event on June 28th. So thanks so much, Dion. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. See you next time.